Right guys, time for another RLR beer shot. For this one we go to Breda, Netherlands, another beer from the wonderful Brouwerij Frontaal. This one is part of their Piece of Cake series, the Apple Crumble Pie, a 10% Imperial pastry stout based on Dutch apple crumble. So yeah, quite an interesting beer this I have to say. Not the biggest fan of Imperial pastry stouts, but these guys seem to do it very well. This is a big brown sugary leaning thing, which is right up my street. But yeah, the beer pours this lovely dark ebony rosewood colour. When you look at it, it's kind of like Pepsi or Coca-Cola, to be honest with you. There wasn't a lot of head on this one when it poured. It disappeared very, very quickly. Aroma wise, you get this big mix of brown sugar and like apple pie type thing coming out of this one, which is exactly what you'd expect. It's a little bit difficult to detect the other parts of the aroma in all honesty, so I think we should focus on the flavour for this one. So yeah, the backbone of this beer, you've got this very slightly like roasty, kind of very slightly toasty rye bready bread crust in there. Further forward you've got a little touch of woody character, wee bit of cracker, but then yeah, you've got a layer of rye bread, then a layer of wholemeal brown bread. The next layer up is like a kind of chocolate sponge, then there's a caramel sponge cake. Both of those have got like a little bit of kind of nutty character coming out of them. Then the next layer up you've got a whole load of brown sugars in there. So yeah, there's like a toasty brown sugar layer, a more leathery brown sugar layer. You've got that kind of oval big circle in the middle of your palate where it's like treacle molasses in the middle for the boozy side of the beer. As you move further out, it's like a fudgy caramelly sort of note. Then it's McVitie's digestive biscuit, and on top of all of that you've got the kind of apple syrupy kind of thing coming out of this one. It really reminds me of some of the maple syrup barrel aged imperial stouts that I've had before. So yeah, if you go to the yeasty part of the beer on the back third of your palate, at its core it's like a more dense kind of sweet caramel sponge sort of character. As you move further out from it, it's a bit more wholemeal brown bready, then yeah, just a little bit of like brown bready bread crust in there, and that adds a wee bit of dryness into the beer, into the aftertaste. On the hoppy side of things, not too much to report. The green component, very slightly earthy, very slightly woody, little tiny bit of floral aromaticity on the front corners of your palate, round the front curve of your tongue it's definitely lighter and more grassy. The fruity side of this one, as we said, it's got this underlying apple, brown sugary sort of thing going on, but yeah, you do get a little bit of plum, a little bit of date, some sultana, a wee bit of fig and a wee bit of blackcurrant on that front third of your palate there. Further forward, so fruity side is quite interesting. Mouthfeel wise, I'd say bottom end of full bodied, carbonation very, very smooth in this one, really low IBUs, 10 if that. The malt base a bit drier underneath, smooth in the middle, very oily and brown sugary and sweet on top, and then yeah, you've just got that little bit of fruitiness to it. Very interesting beer this one, and as I say, it's made me think a wee bit about Imperial pastry stouts. So yeah, this was the Piece of Cake Apple Crumble Pie, 10% ABV from Brouwerij Frontaal in Breda in the south of the Netherlands. Long review coming later. Give this beer a go if you